Aisha Hania, yes. Okay.
Let's do it. That's how. All right. So, welcome to the parenting question answer session by Kanis, Fatima, and Mahendra, and probably hopefully Ruby ji might join the session. Uh, so we have been getting a lot of questions from in different workshop. We have been getting a lot of questions. हमारे Instagram पे, Facebook पे, WhatsApp पे during the workshop. And sometimes what happens, you are in the flow, you wanted to cover a very important topic. उस टॉपिक के बीच में it becomes very difficult to take some topic from a different context all together. तो वो फ्लो ब्रेक हो जाता है, प्लस टाइम लिमिट भी क्रॉस हो जाता है. इसीलिए we thought that why not have a question answer session right now, and probably we will do it like a series of session almost every week, so that any question that you are coming up, we'll try to pick at least 2 to 3 questions every week, and we'll give the best possible answer based on the experience that we have. So Kanis, the first question that has come to us yesterday, okay, when we were talking. Let me see if I have that. Okay, so we'll go in that order, and then any question.
Yeah, it's about the anger issue in teenagers.
Correct.
How to deal anger issue in teenagers. That's what the question was. So Mahendraji would like to say something.
Yeah, the very first thing is that when your child is turning teenagers, nowadays, previously it used to happen between 13 to 14 years. Children used to turn as a teenager. They used to call it a teenager. You got 13, 14, okay? But over the period, that 13 has shifted to 10. So by the time the child is coming at the age of 10, 9, 10 or 11, they are already started behaving like a teenager. So you will experience early signs of teenager behavior. That's the first thing that you need to remember. So regardless to age, you might experience those teenager behavioral problem. Number two, a lot of hormones plays a very crucial role in the way they behave. Sometimes they may not be aware about what they are doing and why they are doing, because hormones runs over the top, and a lot of things which they are doing, they may not be doing it consciously or intentionally. It is their hormones which is making them do, like getting irritated, shouting, going out, not taking interest in regular stuff, not being disciplined, being lazy all around. There could be multiple issues which you will find in their behavior compared to what they were earlier as a child, what they were versus as a teenager, how their behavior is going to be. And third, the anger issue. Definitely, Kanis, who is the expert in anger management, she will give the tip. But one thing that you have to remember is not every situation you have to respond. Not every situation you have to taught. You have to teach them. Not every situation is a situation to discipline them. Sometimes you have to make sure that you ensure a fine-tuned balancing, and you become more and more assertive. The moment your child is turning teenager, your approach has to be more friendly than to be an authoritarian parent. That's what is my side from Kanis. Please add up.
Yeah, initially what we need to do is we need to figure out who in the family has this kind of quality. That is whether the father or the mother or anyone else in the family is having this kind of anger in them, which the child is observing and trying to model the parent or anybody at home. If that is there, then we need to simultaneously work on both the ends. It's not just the child's issue. We will have to manage, I mean, both the parent or the guardian, and move with the flow. The second thing what we need to do is we need to know what is the difference between reaction and respond. What is react, how to react, what to say, what not to say. The response and reaction plays a vital role there. Like, it's as Mahendraji said, it's not about all the time you need not respond, all the time you need not react, but especially when the person is angry, it is better that the child is not in the reception mode, or he cannot be receptive at that moment. So it is far better to keep our mouth shut at that time, and then it's better when he is in quite a peaceful environment, or somewhere he is having that peaceful state of mind. At that moment, if we tell him, he is ready to accept everything. So it will be easier and highly effective when we talk to them during those times. So usually what happens is the prefrontal lobe of our brain gets stopped when we get anger. Okay, so what happens during that time, almost I can say, if you might have come across, the Quranic ayah which says nasiyatin kadibatin khatiya. The same nasiya is the one which is mentioned here about the forelobe or the prefrontal lobe, and this is the part which decides what to do and what not to do. And this part gets numb for almost 90 seconds when the blood circulation is not very clear at that time. That is a point wherein we have kind of stoppage or blockage of blood circulation, and that's why people get angry. And that 90 seconds is very crucial. Okay, at that moment, if we try to respond and not react, child will be effectively, I think, you can give the message very clearly what has to be done at that moment. So I hope I have answered it.
Yeah, brilliantly, Kanis. I think that's a fantastic answer, and I hope this will really help parent. So please make sure that you start practicing your own patience level, your own tactics, and your own friendly nature every time you're dealing with teenagers. With this, Kanis will go to the second question.
Yeah, we have the second question, Aisha Hania. Please tell me how to inculcate time management and their own responsibility in children. Okay.
Fantastic question. Fantastic question. I think we
Being
all are
mothers,
struggling with the time management.
we need to have this time management, and especially because we are forced to become homeschoolers now, and we mothers especially, because I'm sure Hania also must be having. How many kids do you have, Hania? How many kids? Are you able to unmute yourself? You could do that.
They can
at least use your chat. Okay,
three,
mashallah. Just
yeah.
like me, you have three, alhamdulillah. So you have to manage three children just like me. So we are also in the same boat now. That's great. So what we need to have is initially prioritize what task has to be done each day. Each day, what is your priority? What is the task that you have to do that is in urgency? Like you have to create 3 sessions. Urgency, whatever you have to do, you cannot deny this. So you have to prioritize it. And as per that, set your time. Initially, I would recommend you to write down. I used to do it. I used to write down all my tasks, what I have to complete. And within that time bar, I see to it that I complete it. If I have not done it, I would also see what I have to regulate, where I have to do, and what is a second priority which I can skip, and something can be done with the first one, because the time is such that sometimes unexpectedly we have some guests or somebody coming in, and we have to manage all that things. So all of a sudden we are not able to manage everything as per the schedule that we have written it down. But sometimes we need to set the priority, and accordingly we have to do the complete the task. And how can you assign this, or how can you execute your children their task? You need to very very wisely, we need to tell them about their responsibilities. For example, what I do is, every time I tell, what if I fold the clothes of my children, I tell my children to go and keep it inside the wardrobe. And if I do, the first one who goes will be getting bonus 2 kisses from me. Okay, that is what I do. And you won't believe, my 12-year-old son also will come running that even I want. So it's like that, a kind of bonding that we need to give. It's not that the gift is you need to gift some, that gift kind of approach. Gifting something with to your family member or your children is very much important. I did not tell that it should be a very expensive gift, but any kind of gift can be done, anything. So it's like, even teenagers, sometimes if they are of the same age, or if they feel that, you've been doing this throughout your parenting journey, kissing them, patting them, or some kind of encouragement that you've been giving, then I'm sure even they'll like, even at the later stage. Okay, maybe not hugging, they may not like that proximity. We need to just keep in mind, but at the same time, it's better we have that kind of relationship. You do some things and I'm going to give you something in return. Maybe if you do all that things throughout you assign something, and throughout the whole week they are doing that consistently, then I'm going to prepare a dish which is your favorite dish. So something like that, a kind of gift that we announce them or we tell them, that is keeping them motivated all the time. So I hope that is answered. Anything else you would like to add, Mahendraji, regarding time management?
Yes, absolutely. Because time management is something that I personally struggle a lot in my life, not only in my parenting, but also in my personal and professional life. So, and after discovering many paths, I have realized that time management is more over your thought management. So time management is more over your priority management. So once you know these concepts, once you know that your thoughts are creating havoc or creating challenges in your time management, that's where your entire paradigm gets shifted. So I'll tell you a very simple example. Um, every day, my wife and I will struggle with my daughter's, routine. Very simple thing. And suppose, so we both have to go out, or suppose I have to go out to office, or she has to go to her school. So that point of time, it was very important that she has to be ready before we leave. And if she's not ready, she's not eating, or she's not doing brushing her teeth or taking shower, the entire schedule is going to get delayed. And we struggled initially. When your children are small, definitely you will face a lot of challenges. So what we have come up with, the plan is that we have gamified the entire activities. So what we have realized, that where are we wasting times? Which are the factors which is causing us uh, delay in further task? So it is always a very small trigger. जैसे सुबह आप late उठते हो ना, आप suppose you are getting up at 6:30. The day you get up at 7 o'clock, just half an hour. But वो half an hour will create a cascade impact to your entire daily routine. So at the end of the day, you will feel कि आज का life बड़ा वो hectic था. Today's day was very hectic. No, small incident, small change in your daily routine can create massive difference. So what you need to do is use it positively. Number one is the three things that you have to remember in order to do the effective time management. Number thing is that you identify the time blockers, the activities which is wasting your time, the activities that you should not do, or you should not prioritize on the urgent basis, or you need to plan in advance. तो कई बार क्या होता है, टीवी चालू हो जाती है घर की, कई बार कोई नेबर आ जाते हैं, कई बार हम किसी वेंडर से बात कर, सब्जी वाले से बात करने लग जाते हैं. इट कुड बी एनीथिंग. इफ इट इज नॉट फिटिंग योर शेड्यूल, यू हैव टू आइडेंटिफाई दोस टाइम ब्लॉकर्स. हमारे केस में क्या था कि आवर डॉटर्स, शी यूज्ड टू प्ले. नाउ प्लेइंग could also become a time blocker if that is not done in the right time. So we have created a reward system. Every evening we will take her to a garden, provided she has done 1, 2, 3, 4. The reward system, what Kanis was referring, is the same thing. You have to create a reward system. And number two, gamify. When children are not listening, gamify the entire thing. Okay, fatapat, who will take the shower first? Who will go there first? Who will eat first? Who will, like a healthy competition, like a gamified thing. And number three is, I think somewhere you are not well planned in your mind. So you need to know in advance what kind of small example. आप कौन सी सब्जी बनाने वाले हो, आपको पहले से पता रहेगा. It will be easier for you to open the fridge, and then most of the time you decide once you open the fridge, okay, आज क्या बनाना चाहिए, आज क्या खाओगे. If you are like that, I'm sure you will continue to struggle in time management. But if you know that, okay, tomorrow is this, day after this, day after this, a small thing, but it will give you a lot of clarity. And these small minutes can save hours of difficulties and challenges that you will encounter. So थोड़ा सा thought management करो, बच्चों को उस process में involve करो, उसको gamify कर दो, reward system बना दो. That's how I think you'll be able to manage the time management, and your child will also become very responsible, because that's where they feel that I have contributed in making this a wonderful day. Yes, Kanis.
Yeah, and I think Asha Hania is again asking regarding homework and studies. They are lazy, keep spending, especially during this pandemic. So we have been discussing about these things, Hania, in our workshop. I don't know if you have attended these workshops, and we've been telling that what is the learning language of the child and what is the intelligence, what kind of personality the child has. We must elaborately, try to learn about them, and it's only then we are able to understand why that child is feeling so lazy and not interested in studies. So if we cater into all these things, I'm sure they are going to come up with some flying colors, inshallah. So you need to learn about the learning language. You need to learn about their personality, and also the intelligence that is dominant in the child.
Very rightly mentioned, Kanis. And for everyone who has just joined this session, this is a very special question answer session by Next Gen Parenting. And the reason why we are having this session is because during our workshop, we keep on getting a lot of questions, which unfortunately we are not able to answer because of the time limitation and some other factors. So we thought, why not make it open question answer session so that people can, just come and ask any question. So any of you, if you have any question, please type in the chat box, or you can unmute and speak.
Yasmin has got something to ask. I think she's
Yes,
raised.
Yasmin. Please,
Good
either you
morning.
can. Hi, Yasmin.
Hi. My son is in the ninth class, ninth standard. I'm little confused. Now there is too much like JEE exam, NEET exam. They have to study, but my son is little lazy to study. So if I keep at home and say him to study, I'm sure that he will not put his efforts. So we are planning also for hostel. There are many hostels which make children study and they get very good results. And he is not interested. Even we are not interested because he's not studying. We are forced to do that. So I'm little confused how to tell him. Hope you understand my question.
Correct. See, that is what this Next Gen Parenting all about. From since generations after generation, we have been living a false lie, which has been told to us by the society, by the media, by the world. And one of the lie was that, if you study so and so, that's how your life will be settled. That's how you will earn money. That's how people are going to respect you, and you will be able to live a well-respected life. But fast forward to this generation, fast forward to the current time, the scenario has completely changed. So especially if suppose somebody wants to plan to become, and somebody is planning to become an engineer, that no longer in lucrative options or a fast ticket to success. The reason being is any profession that you feel will be good for your child may not be good for them. It is a reason, if you have seen in the recent couple of years, there are many new career options have changed. For example, nobody would ever believe that a 14 to 16-year-old boy and a girl, they are earning in lakhs of rupees only by creating some small videos talking about one particular topic. So they are becoming YouTubers, they are becoming Instagram influencer. Many people are having very different, sort of job. They are just reviewing cars, they're just reviewing mobile phone. By reviewing mobile phone, by giving opinion about mobile phone, they are getting huge money. So the trend of career has shifted drastically. Now coming back to your question that, okay, you definitely want your child to study. There's nothing wrong about it. We should all strive for good education about our child. And that is what we all are doing. But it starts with setting up the right expectation. So if you have attended our program, okay, and especially if you are part of the Next Gen by Parenting Blueprint, we have a system, okay? So we call it a filters. In that filter, you put your child first and you put yourself also. This is parent, this is child. As a parent, what are your intelligences? What is your personality? What are your learning style? What is your parenting style? You put yourself into that filter, and ultimately that is how you are going to expect, that is how you are going to look at your child. Okay, now your child has come through you, not for you. Okay, remember this. So of course, because your child is coming to this world, he will also have his own unique personality, unique talent, unique gift that he's bringing into this world. Now, what is going to be his core gift? What is going to be his core intelligences? If you are able to provide a career according to that inner capabilities, inner strength, inner gift, chances are then you no longer have to pursue your child. You no longer have to force your child to do anything, because that's how they will choose a path and they will be very much comfortable doing that. But suppose we are not able to offer, we are not able to provide something which is connected to his own inner intelligences, then it has to be forced upon. We all have grown up. I'm 90s kid. I mean, I'm sure you all are 80s, 90s kids. We all have grown up in a era where choices are being, given to us, forced upon us, so that we had no other option. But this generation, they are very, very smart. They are very, very intelligent. They have been exposed to technology. They have been exposed to the world. When they see that what you are forcing versus what they want is mismatching, that is the reason they will not follow you. So first, the first answer is set up your right expectation. Are you doing the right thing for your child? That is the first step that you need to take right now. Because if you take it after 3 years, you will waste a lot of money, time, energy, and efforts, and the time which will be gone can never be recovered. So that's the step number one. Step number two, if at all you have to force your child to study, or you want your child to study, and because you have gone through this exercise and you know this is the right career for him based on, because he's very highly logically intelligent person, or his visual is very good, or probably his kinesthetic is very good. So based on your assessment, now you have realized, you have come to this conclusion, GRE test is the one he should be going for. Then you have to talk to him personally, and you have to take a professional help. Most of the time in India, we don't go to, we don't go to coaches, we don't go to psychologists. The reason being is because we feel that we have to deal everything. But sometimes you don't have to deal, because we are not subject matter expert. My daughter, she doesn't learn from me. I had to hire a teacher who could teach her. So you have to take professional help of a counselor who will do the assessment of what exactly he is willing to do and what is going to be his preferred learning style. Some children, they prefer by visual learning, some auditory, some kinesthetic. If you are able to give them an atmosphere which is according to their learning preference, then they will be able to score better marks. They will be able to study for a longer period, and their interest will be generated automatically. If you are not able to stimulate those learning preferences, then they will not learn. Number three, and the most important thing is, when they are studying, okay, according to their own inner personality, some people would like to study in a group, some people would like to study alone, some people would need help from other, some people don't need help at all. So you have to offer them those resources. Sometimes it can be a audio video lecture, sometimes it could be a good teacher, sometimes it could be good circle of friends who are also doing the same thing. He goes there, he learns, and he does things. So providing that atmosphere becomes a responsibility of a parent in order to ignite the the learning and study pattern of the child. Follow these three things. I'm sure you will not have face similar situation in future.
Whenever he sees the bed, he feels sleepy. Maybe morning 10 o'clock, anytime. He's
So-
sleeping.
So
That is the problem.
what is that giving you? What is that signal he is giving you?
No, he doesn't study. When he sees the bed, he sleeps because I'll be busy with some other work. I may not see what he's doing. He goes to bed. That is the main problem.
No, so does he really want to study, or he's just studying?
He likes to study. He wants to take science also in his 11th. But I don't know. He feels lazy when he sees the bed.
Is
So
he trying to
whenever I
see?
say study, so he says after Isha prayer or after Maghrib prayer, something he gives some excuses and he delays. At the last moment, he studies usually during the exam times only.
Then you must go to a counselor. That is the only answer, because you are not able to
No,
figure.
I think,
See a lot of clues here, but somehow you're not able to see it. Yes, Kanis.
yes. Yeah, even I feel that maybe he's trying to seek your attention somewhere, and he wants something. He wants something, and he's not getting it, and that's why he's doing some kind of gestures is visible here. That's what I can figure out.
I think Yasmin, you have attended one of the workshop, right, where we
Yeah.
spoke about the body language. Most of the time, our body language speaks very strongly compared to what we are speaking from our mouth, from verbal. So, for example, uh, in the current situation, okay, I'm sitting like this and okay, yeah, tell me, Yasmin. Yeah. So it means I'm not actually interested in responding to you because my body language is not supporting what I'm speaking from my mouth. Similarly, I think Kanis has described very beautifully in that workshop how you can read the clues that what your child is trying to convey. So I think by sleeping, by not giving attention, not studying on time, or some other body languages, he might be giving you some clues which you need to read. That is the only answer that we can give at this point of time, because your case will require definitely a lot of backward investigation of why it is happening.
I think the same question we have it here. My teenage takes most of the time in bathing and wearing clothes. So I think that is also related to the same answer. I mean, the same answer is applied. Kind of, attention seeking is done, I feel, somewhere. And maybe his cares or his needs are intellectual needs are not very much catered into, and that's why the child is trying to do this. That's what
Correct. No, and I think I already answered this one by making it gamified, right? When you gamify the game, you have
Give it
to
any task. Yeah, can be done.
what is their hunger which they are not able to fulfill. You tap that hunger, that point, and they will respond to you the way you want.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we don't know where to tap because we don't know. We have not studied the science of tapping at the right place. So that could be one of the challenge.
Anybody
Thank you
else
for
would
asking
like to
that.
ask
That's
any
a
question?
fantastic question that you ask, and I'm sure this question might have helped many other parents who are watching right now and who will be watching in future. So that's a wonderful question.
Thank you very much.
Anybody else would like to unmute and ask or use your chat to ask any question? Ruby ji is joined. Okay.
Okay, so I think we have a bandwidth for taking one more question, and rest of the question, Kanis, we will take it in our next session.
Yeah.
So if
It's the last
anybody
one.
So if
I have one more question. My daughter, she says, I want only to play. I don't want to go to school right from first standard. Now she's in fourth standard and she's not studying at home. She's only playing. If I say her to study, she gets angry or she wastes her time, but she never studies.
Why do you need a separate time for studying and playing? Why can't your study be a playtime?
She never opens the book
She need not
till the
open.
class.
You can play along with it. You can play her. You can play and teach her. What have you tried?
Before during Ramadan, when I used to cook in the evening, I used to ask her to bring the book and say, "You teach me. You're my teacher," and she used to teach. Now that she felt boring. Now I don't have any ways.
Did you try to use any of her, auditory or visual and kinesthetic mode of learning? Any kind of things that you have in you felt which kind of learning language she has? Is she auditory? She
Yeah, she can listen and she can learn. But too many spelling mistakes, right? If she listens, I saw that she doesn't know any spellings. That is a problem.
Yasmin, we need to explore certain things. That's what I recommend you to attend all the workshops that we have been conducting, because here we have been discussing many things, which is about the learning language and about the personality, as we told. It is very important because here we get some clues what has to be done. How do you recognize a child's learning language? And what are the characteristics of these people, what they like and what they dislike, how are they connected to their studies and how not, what is that hindrance or what is that that brings hurdle in their studies. So all these things we've been discussing, and I am sure that these will help you a lot. Inshallah, in the upcoming sessions also we will be discussing this, but the thing is, it takes a long time for us to explain all that in detail. You need to explore what are your child's learning languages, inshallah, and see that, for example, what I have to mention about my son, I had even shared it here. He's a my eldest son is a auditory and a visual learner, so he is more into visual and auditory. After pandemic, he has turned to more of kinesthetic because he doesn't want to hear. Of course, visual he needs, but kinesthetic is more now. That kinesthetic and visual is dominant. So what happens right now is we are not able to focus on what are their characteristics. So in fact, I used to do that. I used to bring that obstacle right in between, whenever he was taking the class or I was telling me some answers, I used to stop him in between, saying that this is wrong or this word is wrong, the sentence is wrong, you're not supposed to say that. Automatically he would turn blank. He would not be able to continue his answering or learning at all, because he said, give me the book once again, I'll read it and then give it to you. So this was the way. And my younger son, who was right now turning to be 7, he had very lot of challenges in learning Hindi languages, Hindi alphabets, to be very frank. He was not able to understand even after 2 months of teaching language, I mean Hindi language. And then it so happened that I could realize that this child is a kinesthetic learner, and I pasted all the alphabets on the floor, and then I asked him to jump on whenever I called out the alphabet loudly, and he used to jump on it or throw any ball on it. And this is how I made him learn. Within 2 weeks, alhamdulillah, he was able to grasp all the alphabets, and even now it is retained, it is well settled in the mind, and he is not able to forget it now. By God's grace, we are able to do that very easily. When you play also, it should be a fun learning kind of environment. If you create at home, I think you are able to get the answers. Inshallah, I will be posting this to you. Learning language of children is a PDF which I have created. I think I can get that to you, inshallah.
Thank you very much. Jazakallah.
And what you can do here is, see, sometimes the children may not, every children will have a different way of grasping things. Some picks up very early, some takes time to understand and pick up things, okay? It does not mean that they are not intelligent. It does not mean that they will not study in future. You have to realize that everybody will take their own time. So for example, my daughter currently, she doesn't like to study at all. She's now will be turning 7. And initially, as a parenting coach, because I did everything, I thought and I know how crucial these 7 years are going to be. I was very, very much focused and very keen on making sure that she learns everything and she studies and she becomes topper and she becomes number one. She has got that winner attitude and blah, blah, blah. But until a point of time when I realized that learning does not have to be limited only with books. Learning is a journey, is a process. It can be done without book also. So once I have realized that, once I have got this realization, I started using other props, other stuff, other things which is around us to teach her, because of which now she is able to read any sentences in detail. Earlier she was having challenges in reading the entire sentences of English. Now she can read. She was similarly, like Kani's son, she was having challenges in Hindi. Now she can read, she can write Hindi. So sometimes you have to be a little bit flexible and start using creatively how you can. When your child is not learning, it means you are not teaching them the way they learn, because their learning capacity is enormous. They can learn as many things as possible, but first your child may be, what I'm assuming right now based on the answer that you're giving, your child is most likely to be a kinesthetic child. That's where what Anish was referring, that when you attend a program, you get to know the different types. If a child is kinesthetic and playful and more like a visual, it becomes very easy for you to create such an atmosphere or environment where she learns automatically. And you make it so obvious, so natural, that it doesn't look like that she has to study. The moment we start talking about study, focus, otherwise what will you do? If you don't study, you will be very bad, your friends will go ahead. The moment you make it a separate thing, that's where you're creating a separation in her mind. Never do that. Just club it together. Don't let her feel like a study is something that she has to do. The moment she has to do comes, that's where she will go away from her. If you imbibe, if you incorporate within her daily routine, it will become a natural process. I hope this answered your query. So this was the people who have just joined. This was the Next Gen Parenting question answer session, because in all our workshop, we keep on getting different questions, which unfortunately we are not able to answer. So if you have attended a previous program, you know how much detail we go to answer each question. In today's,
Yeah, I think there is a request actually. Hania is trying, she had some network issue. We will be posting this recording in the WhatsApp group. Please join the WhatsApp group, Hania. Okay, if you have not joined yet, we will be posting the recording there. So inshallah, you can join and have the recording with you. Okay.
Good. And I think it's already 41. So we have already spent 40 minutes together. So I think we really appreciate your patience.
Yes, yes, sir. Good morning, sir.
So Hania, you can ask in the group as well. If you join, you can ask your questions in the group, inshallah. So we will be there to help you out.
Now, do we have any question? Amita, are you trying to ask a question?
Hania is trying to.
स्पीकर को ऑन करो. देखो आपकी बेटी कितना स्मार्ट है. They know better than us.
Yeah.
This technical stuff, okay?
They are smarter than us.
They are smarter than us. Seriously, I'm telling you.
They are tech savvy.
Correct. Can I ask there? Yeah, you can ask there. I think with this, thank you so much for your time. I know it's Sunday, but you have invested your Sunday to get some of the answer. And see, the best way to get a solution by asking. If you sit on the problem, it is going to go bigger. It is going to become more complex. So whenever you come across any challenge, not only in your parenting, but in your personal life or professional life,